Hi and welcome to Glenn's Tech Corner. In this video I'll show you how to work with components and variants in Figma. So here I've designed a very simple button that I would like to make into a component so I can copy it to many different places but still keep the layout centralized in one place. How we do this is we just select the three elements I have made here, right click, and then we create a component. Now it gets this different symbol out here where we can see this is a component. We could call it button. When I duplicate this, either by copy paste or dragging it into a new object, we can see that this one has a slightly different symbol, which means this is an instance of this one. This meaning that editing something on this one up here would also change it on my instance down here. The border radius got the same. We can do this with changing everything in here. If we change something on the instance, it kept being overwritten even though I would change something like the font color. It would still remember that the text is changed. So this is a super easy way to duplicate a button and make sure that it follows the same design. But what if we wanted this button to be wider or taller? Doesn't look very good, but we can fix that on our main component. Let's just imagine we had a few different buttons in some different heights and widths. Some of them look decent, some of them looks very not decent. So I can go in here, then I can take the different elements and say how should this arrow act whenever it's stretched. Right now it will scale in both directions. But I can tell it instead to keep a left position and to keep a center position, so not scaling. And I would do the same with this button. Instead, I would say left and I would do a center position. Now all of the buttons look great even though they are scaled in size. So this is the very easy and simple way to work with components. You can also change one single styling on one of them. And even though if I moved around the arrow, it would still remember whatever is changed. If I at some point wanted to reset, I can always right click and say reset instance. Then it becomes exactly as the main component. If I design these on a bigger canvas and I couldn't find where is my main component, I can always right click and say go to main component so I can see which one is this related to. And this makes it super easy and neat to work with mockups and layouts, but we can do even more to make it even easier. We can also create variants of these buttons and then have a lot of different stylings that we can easily apply to the buttons. Let's try to do that. We select this one and then we click on this add variant and suddenly we get a new layout for our component. Now we have these two variants that we can see out here, default and variant 2. I'll call this for red or green, and then maybe the new one for red. And then I could change the color of this button to be red. And now instead of having to apply a new color to these single ones, I can just tell them that instead of being the green, you should follow the red styling. Which also means that if I made several changes to the red layout, let's just say that I instead had this text color, it doesn't look great, but it shows the purpose. Then I could have multiple different layout settings. I could also, if I wanted a new icon, just create a new icon. If it was a download button, add it in here, place it as I want it to be placed, delete this one, and now it would be an arrow, but it would now need the same adjustment as before. I will need to tell it to stay left and to stay center, like this. Let's imagine that we wanted to do a little bit more. We also wanted a background behind the arrow icon. So I create this background. I move the text a bit, put the background behind the icon, give it the same width, centralize the arrow, maybe making it slightly bigger, 20, and giving it a different background color. Making this one red, and this one, let's just put it back so it looks slightly better. So now I have a totally new layout, but now this doesn't really seem to fit. So what we can do on on these elements is we can tell this one to always go from top to bottom. So it always fills out. And we can do the same for this, just to make sure. Right now it scales, so it does kind of the same, always top to bottom. So this helps me being very, very efficient when I design mockups, landing pages, social media stuff, or something else. And I hope it can do the same for you too. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.